He touches an object belonging to a victim of a crime. He claims that suddenly he is transported beyond time and space. A crime is reenacted before his eyes. He says he's reliving a moment in the past, in a place he's never seen before, with people he does not know. It has been a trance, but when it ends, psychic Peter Hurkos seems to have hard information. The name of the killer, the manner in which the victim died, and the time of death.
1, 2, 3. There were actually 3 people involved. 3 people.
He calls himself a psychic detective. Can ESP be used to fight crime and locate missing persons? In Search Of explores the potential of the psychic detective.
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones, to the mysteries we will examine.
Chief Detective Robert Lowry has been with the Florissant Police Department in St. Louis for 23 years. For Lowry and detectives like him, the routine of casework follows the long-established techniques of following leads, gathering evidence, and questioning witnesses. Two years ago, Bob Lowry broke with tradition in his effort to solve a kidnap case. The manager of a local store was reported missing, and after 3 weeks of investigation, Lowry could find no reason for his disappearance and no clues to his whereabouts. He was persuaded to try a new and strikingly unconventional investigative tool.
We conducted a very extensive investigation. We exhausted all leads, and it was brought to my attention by a member of the television news media that we could possibly call in a psychic. My reaction to it at first, of course, is that I'm a police officer, and police officers deal with fact, and I wasn't too receptive to this idea. But I agreed to it after the family members indicated their desire.
The results were remarkable. The psychic accurately pinpointed the location of the victim and led the police to the site. This information, relayed by psychic means, enabled the police to solve the case. Extrasensory perception is the power of the mind to reach across time and space in a way that seems impossible. To know a thought when it has not been spoken. To see an event that has happened in a distant place. Scientists acknowledge that it exists, but don't understand how it works. Some believe it can be harnessed for practical use, and one way may be in the fight against crime. There are psychic detectives all over the country. The most well-known is Peter Hurkos, based in Los Angeles. Hurkos first visits the scene of a crime to get what he calls psychic impressions. He handles personal possessions in an attempt to identify with the victim. Pictures of the crime take shape in his mind. To date, he has worked on over 800 criminal cases. In Chicago, psychic Irene Hughes has received commendations from police for her efforts in helping them solve no less than 15 murder cases. In St. Louis, Bevy Yeagers is earning a reputation as a psychic detective.
Okay, we're going to be working on the Franzak case again tonight, and there are a couple of you here who haven't really done too much on this. I'm going to try to fill you in just a little bit. We have gotten into this case May the 25th, I think, is the day that we were called in on it, and we were working on it.
Bevy is a housewife and mother of 6. Her attitude about ESP is unique in that she believes everybody has the potential for it.
The astrology department seems to feel that there was a plot involving...
6 years ago, she founded a psychic rescue squad for the purpose of locating missing persons. Members of the squad hold down normal 9-to-5 jobs and meet in the evenings for casework. They have proved themselves so effective that they have qualified as licensed private detectives.
Gotten a chance to work on it yet?
A private detective agency is in itself kind of mysterious to the public, I suppose, and a private detective agency composed of psychics would be doubly so or more. We've had quite a job to do, as a matter of fact, in getting people to understand that we're not a bunch of mysterious kooks running around in robes calling down forces from the planet Mars to solve cases. At this particular time, there are about 18 of us in the metropolitan St. Louis area, and there are approximately 25 more around the country who have been trained by me.
Each member of the squad brings his own specialty to the art of solving crime. People like Phyllis Deggendorf, a graduate student of nearby George Washington University. She claims that by meditating, she can relive the moment of the crime.
I tune in very quickly to pain. I start getting feelings whenever I'm holding an object. Then it will develop into mental pictures.
I still don't pick up death. Lillian, does the chart say death to you? It says death. Well, I just don't.
Betty, did they ever find out what cult or what semi-religious Indian group was associated with this case?
Judith Krause uses a technique called psychometry